My original question to you was the Prime Minister is saying that you are un-British. Do you agree with him? Do you feel that what you're doing is un-British? Is he right to say that?
So what I'm doing is trying to stop a genocide. Is that un-British?
He says you are. He says you are. That's the point, isn't it?
You know, I don't really care what he says. You know, there's a genocide going on that our government are complicit in. You know, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are being killed. The whole of Gaza has turned to rubble. You know, it doesn't bother me what our Prime Minister says.
Okay.
You know, what bothers me is to stop this genocide.
Do you care about how Jewish students, Jewish people in general, but let's talk about students because this is a campus. Do you care about how Jewish students feel?
You know, I've been to Palestinian protests, you know, since the 7th October, 2 years ago. And you know what? I've never seen, you know, because the claim is anti-Semitism. I've never seen anti-Semitism at these movements. You know, there's actually always Jewish blocs at these movements, you know, at these rallies. Because the actions of Israel do not represent Judaism. They don't represent Jewish students. And so to claim that this protest is anti-Semitic or against Jewish people in any way, you know, it's a complete lie.
Can you understand why on the date that you are choosing to hold this rally, that people might suggest it's inappropriate? Can you understand why people feel that way?
You know, I see it as one of the most important days to put it on. Because we've had 2 years of genocide, you know, destructions for the Palestinians, you know, the most awful conditions imaginable. And, you know, the fact I've come on here to talk about the rally, I've come on here to talk about Palestinian protests and, like, how we can free Palestine. And, you know, all you want to ask me is you confuse it with anti-Semitism and these lies, you know, completely cynically to try and crash these protests. I'd say it shows how important it is that we put these rallies on today.